Hey everybody, this is Coach Noah coming back to you for the second episode of the Nutrition with Noah show on this wonderful full moon Tuesday, August 20th. I hope that wherever you are in the world, you got to experience the amazingly beautiful full moon. I know that every full moon is the most inspiring evening for me of the cycle of the moon shifting around the light of the sun and the earth. So I wish you an incredible full moon evening. And today's show is precious. It is full of very, very, very rich, uh, life transforming ideas that brings together, it ties together. This is the glue that brings together all of the nutrition tips and theories that I've covered up to this point. And it's the beginning of chapter 11. Chapter 11 is called Why Be Healthy? Why be healthy? I'm always wondering that question. Why be healthy? What's the point? And I'm going to start with a great quote from George Bernard Shaw. George Bernard Shaw said that some people see things as they are and ask, why? I dream of things that never were and ask, why not? Why not be healthy? Joshua starts with the very important point that health is a vehicle. It's not a destination. That's one of his main points. And what he says is that when you're eating junk food, it's harder to make a difference in the world than when you're eating healthy. That's one of the basic points. And when you really get inspired to live a life that makes the biggest difference that it can, being healthy becomes important. He also talks about authentic self-expression. You know, there's things that have shaped our personality from the past. And a lot of times we walk around life thinking that our personalities are fixed or rigid. Joshua is very clear that our personalities are not fixed or rigid. Authentic self-expression is the opportunity for us to be fully who we really are and what's possible for us to be. I know that in the summer of 2000, I took Landmark's advanced course, and I went from being someone who was thinking of himself as an overachiever but who wasn't quite capable in certain areas of my life, and I put all of that in the past from high school up to that point. And as an 18-year-old, 19-year-old young man, I said that my life is going to be about transformation, leadership, and love. Transformation, leadership, and love was an unpredictable future for me in my life. And it's what my spirit is all about. And so in this chapter, Joshua talks about creating unpredictable futures for yourself and your life. He uses the analogy of imagining a grasshopper in a jar. And the owner of this grasshopper, if there can be an owner of a grasshopper, but for the point of the story, let's say there's an owner of the grasshopper, he puts the grasshopper in the jar, and the grasshopper keeps jumping out, jumping out, jumping out. Then he puts the lid on the jar, and the grasshopper jumps to the top, bounces back, jumps to the top, bounces back, jumps to the top, still trying to get out. The next day, the owner notices the grasshopper's not jumping anymore. And then he puts the lid a little bit closer, and the grasshopper stays still, and then he takes the lid off the jar, and the grasshopper doesn't jump out. So, what's in between us and our unpredictable future might be thinking that the lid is there when it really isn't. That's another important idea from this chapter, why be healthy? And then you will think, well, how do I build this future of possibility? How do I build a future of creating anything I want for myself and my life? a future that's full of transformation, leadership, and love. I ask myself that almost every day. How do I build this future? How do I build a life full of transformation, leadership, and love? Stephen Hawking, the British theoretical physicist and author of A Brief History of Time, Joshua talks about on page 256, has a theory that the past and the future is a continuum, which means that the future has already happened. And we're living in a multidimensional reality. And I'm not going to make this show about what it means to live in a multidimensional reality, but when you really experience the possibility of creating a future that's not just ahead of us, but something that inspires us right now, in the present moment, then you realize that all time and all space and all reality has the room for what you want to create. Now, for those of you who might be thinking, oh my God, Coach Noah, you're getting so theoretical and philosophical and kind of off in talking about multiple dimensions of reality. Well, Joshua goes on to say, remember that we're spiritual beings having a human experience, not human beings having a spiritual experience. And there is a distinction here. His point is, no matter how many material things that we possess, it's never the true source of our happiness. The source of our happiness comes from within, not from without. While I know that might sound like a cliche kind of spiritual New Age phrase, when you really think about it, there's people all over the world who are happy, who have many different life circumstances. And Joshua says, when you experience that happiness, when you experience that moment of stillness, of being in touch with who you really are and what you can create and what you are creating with your life, don't try and escape those moments with eating or being distracted by other things. Allow yourself to stay still, to be present. And one of the best ways to do that is to be healthy. It supports your blood in transforming. It supports your mental clarity. It supports a reduction of tiredness, pain, and sickness, and an increase in joy and feeling good. That's more of an answer of why be healthy. This is your life. That is the header on page 258 of Integrated Nutrition. And I'm going to read something from Joshua's book. I can't believe I didn't hold it up till now. Integrative Nutrition. He says, my father has a bumper sticker on his car that says, this is your life, not a dress rehearsal. Now is the time to take action toward accomplishing whatever dreams, ideas, or aspirations may be lingering in the back of your mind. Listen, folks, your health is important as what you're up to creating in your life. Your health is important as your dreams, as your aspirations, as your goals. My invitation to you is to take the lid off the jar and jump out of the jars. There's some exercises that Joshua gives at the end of the chapter for building your future and your goals. And the future building exercise asks this question: what do you really want to get done in this lifetime? You are free to create whatever you want in this world. The more specific you are, the easier it is to plan. What hopes and dreams must be thought through and planned to make them happen? You may want to do this in a journal. I know I journal every day. Consider this exercise as a personal trainer for your muscle that sees and creates your future. You are not going to show this list to anyone, so just write and write and write without self-consciousness. One of the great ways that I start in my journal every day is, what am I grateful for? The next piece in the journaling is to write down all the things that you need to get done or want to get done by, and here's some time frames for you, need to get done or want to get done by the end of the day tomorrow, by the end of the week, by the end of the month, by the end of next month, by New Year's Day. Imagine, what's the year? How old will you be? How old will your loved ones be? What are all the things you want to have done by that time? Allow yourself to imagine and create here. Imagine yourself on New Year's Day 2 years from now. Again, write down the following. What's the year? How old will you be? How old will your loved ones be? What are all the things you want to have done by that time? New Year's Day 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. What's the year? How old will you be? How old will your loved ones be? What are all the things that you want to have done by that time? Now remember, this is your life. Go make it happen. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for engaging and allowing yourself to think and create your life here with me on the Nutrition with Noah show. If you want to share what you're creating, please do. In the comment section, email me at noah@coachnoah.com so we can create your future together, your life right now being inspiring, being joyful, being happy. And that is why be healthy. Have a great day. Take care.